Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to another video. Okay, so in today's video we are going to be taking a look at Mars retrograde within the natal birth chart. So this video is specifically for those of you who were born whilst Mars was retrograde, but I will also be making a video about Mars retrograde during a transit. So if you're watching this before that video comes out, then stay tuned. But if you're watching this after the video comes out, then I will link it down below somewhere so that you can check it out. But before we do get started, of course, make sure that you give this video a like if you like it today. Also make sure to subscribe if you have not already, and to click that little bell icon in order to keep yourself updated with further content from myself. And one more just quick thing to mention, I have release some merchandise within the channel, and I've got some Libra merchandise available. Scorpio merchandise will be coming very, very soon. But yeah, if you're interested in any of the merchandise, then I will link that below as well so you can check that out. So anyways, with all of those introductions out of the way, Mars retrograde in the natal birth chart individuals, and also for those of you who are just interested in this placement, let's do this. Okay, so the first thing to keep in mind when it comes to planets that are retrograde is that they represent an inward motion. Therefore, the energy of Mars in this instance is being internalized here. So with that, what does this suggest about you if you have this placement? Well, it suggests that you might find it difficult to stand up for yourself, and you almost might find it difficult to assert yourself. And you also might find it rather difficult to motivate yourself as well. So let's say, for example, that somebody is picking on you or giving you a hard time. You might hesitate from defending yourself against that other person or people. Or let's say that someone tells you about a particular new experience or opportunity to try. You might pull back and really reflect upon whether or not you want to take on that new thing, whatever it may be. And when it comes to your motivation, you might be the type of person who thinks, well, if I don't have a reason to get up or a reason to act on something, then why bother? It's like, what's the point? In fact, it could even be suggested that you justify why you shouldn't act on something, or perhaps you convince yourself that certain new chapters to embrace, well, they're just not all that important. So again, it's like, what's the point? But yet, inwardly, your strong passions and desires and your drive remains very much a part of you still, along with your deep urges to pursue the things that you desire, and your deep urges to go after meeting particular goals that you do have in mind. Therefore, what we're really noticing here when it comes to you Mars retrograde individuals is how inwardly you may want desperately to act on what you want, but when it comes to the actual execution, there's a slight disconnect, or there seems to be some sort of delay, because instead, well, you don't act. Now, before you start thinking, oh my god, this sounds so negative, just hear me out, okay? Because there is a strength in this placement, which I will get to. But you gotta keep in mind that even those challenging things when it comes to placements, those can also be beneficial when it comes to our own self-development. Still, what I want to do now is I want to explore some potential events that might have played out throughout your life or growing up, so that we can get more of a deeper understanding when it comes to you. So with that being said, could it be here that you experienced bullying as a child, or maybe you felt emasculated as a child, meaning you were deprived of your masculine or male role growing up? And this could have even possibly been, right, so looking at how you were emasculated, so it could have been the likes of a brother overshadowing you, within your household, or this could have been a sister who would just constantly put you down, or this could even very well have been a father figure who was anything but the man of the house, which of course you observed all of this happening. Maybe your mother was even quite abusive towards your father, and so the mother within the household diminished your father's authority, so to speak. Though another possibility could have been that you were a victim to some sort of abuse, specifically to some sort of violence or to sexual abuse. Then again, maybe there were events that left you feeling paralyzed, like you couldn't act, so you couldn't move, you just sort of lay there dormant. Perhaps you felt like it was your place to do something, but you didn't. Or maybe because you didn't, you carry around a lot of regret. Maybe a loved one, for example, was in danger, but you didn't do anything about it. And so in terms of this whole fight or flight or freeze response, especially when it comes to Mars energy, you froze. On the other hand, though, perhaps anger wasn't something that was encouraged when you were younger. Maybe you weren't really allowed to express your annoyance or your anger or your frustrations, which I'm sure caused much conflict and frustrations within yourself. Maybe you'd much rather just bottle things up than tell anybody else that you're annoyed or that you're pissed off with them. After all, most likely than not, you were not listened to. So again, why bother, right? And so what you might do is you might actually turn that anger towards yourself. And you might also, possibly to an extreme length, okay, and going a bit more deeper here too, you might even inflict physical pain, physical harm onto yourself, or you might have taken part in self-destructive behaviors such as actual physical pain using the likes of pointed objects, but also by doing things that were maybe really dangerous and really risky towards your well-being. So I'm talking about just putting yourself in really life-threatening situations and territories. And we're also noticing here some struggles when it comes to your sexual drive and to your sexual identity. So this could be you finding it difficult to really know or grasp what turns you on or how you can get turned on. Or this could quite possibly be you struggling with what your sexual identity is. Though on the other hand, maybe quite possibly you do actually have a deep understanding or a deep feeling when it comes to these things, but it's actually others who have tried to shun you or make you feel less than when it comes to these things, therefore leading to the other things that I kind of mentioned previously, right? Others just seem to have gotten the wrong impression when it came to your sexual identity here. And also when it comes to this whole making the first move, there can be times when you maybe come on way too strong, but then there can also be times whenever you're far too fearful or where you hesitate. So yeah, there may be fears of rejection here, or there may be fears of taking action upon things and then doing things in a wrong way, or maybe fears surrounded even taking action upon things that then lead to upset and frustration and conflict. And so a lot of the times, maybe you'd much rather play it safe than take certain risks that can lead to your ego possibly getting hurt. And the same thing could also be said about your identity just as a whole. So perhaps you have a hard time with formulating a solid sense of who you are as a person, or maybe many people have even tried to tell you who they think that you are for just a lot of your life. Or perhaps you feel like you weren't given a proper chance to be yourself. And so if it is that you have, or if it was or it still is that you have a hard time with your own identity, then maybe it can also be kind of difficult for you to pinpoint exactly what it is that you want to pursue in life and how to go after the things that you do desire as well. Maybe you spend so much time reflecting or reviewing upon these things that you don't jump on certain new opportunities that can excite you, or you don't really take certain opportunities that can provide you with a direction or a path, or maybe this whole difficulty with motivation and drive that I mentioned earlier. Maybe that's also connected with your self-identity here. I mean, how on earth is a human supposed to do human things if they don't even identify themselves with being a human, right? Not to mention, when others enter into the picture, there's just so much pressure that might build up within you, further suggesting that you might find it really difficult to enter into competition. So into competition itself might be slightly intimidating for you. But here is the thing, Mars retrograde individuals, and that is that there seems to be so much energy, so much fire, so much passion that builds up within you, and this energy can be channeled into something great if you let it. Seriously, you can be some of the most physical, driven, energetic, and initiative types of people. And when you choose to direct that energy into something worthwhile, might I add, you can be a force to be reckoned with. So, those people who picked on you in class or at school or at work, maybe you have a biting point, you have the breaking point there where you fought back and you come out victorious within your own right. Or maybe you end up directing your energy into a goal or a physical activity, and the next thing you know, you are in the best shape of your life and you're achieving your goals. Or maybe you decide, you know what, I'm going to go for this new thing because I want to. And so you do it and you succeed and you win. Sure, there may have been times in the past where you froze, or sure, there may still be times when, or situations even today, even if or when your progressed Mars goes direct, situations where you still might freeze, right? But when you make a decision and you act on that decision, you most likely are not going to give up easily. You will kick doors down, you will take names, you will call people out on their BS because actually, no, they cannot treat you like that. And you can certainly achieve your goals regardless of who's watching. Basically, by you learning to direct your energy outwardly and directly with more of a so what type of attitude, you will feel like you're more in touch with what you want, and you'll also feel a greater sense of personal satisfaction as well. So that thing that you're passionate about, that gets you fired up, well, what's stopping you from pursuing it? Really think about that. What actually is stopping you? Or that thing that you've been keeping in that you really like to let out, Who is it directed towards, and why are you holding back? Or even that conflict that needs to be caused in order for there to be a resolve. Why is it that you hesitate? Truly, Mars retrograde individuals, you are learning how to bring out that inner leader within you, which, whether you believe it or not, you have what it takes to lead, and you also have what it takes to express your wants and your desires with others effectively. So I think it's about you working on these things rather than dwelling within these types of things, resulting in you exploding or acting out in unconscious ways that don't do you any good. Like I said, well, I didn't say this. It's actually like you starting a war within yourself whenever all of this plays out. Sure, there may be times whenever you get off on the wrong foot with others, or there may be times whenever the timing is just off, but I think that with time and with hard work and some effort, things can become a bit more easier and a bit more clearer for you, resulting in maybe more direct and forthright dealings with others as well. Maybe for you, it's just really important to go at the pace that you know, so to take your time with whatever works for you. But try and not stress yourself out too much whenever others push on you. Tell it to them straight, make them aware of what you want, and also try to not take things super personally either, because you also might have the tendency of letting other people's actions get to you to such an extent that you take it like a very take it as a very personal attack towards you. But yes, perhaps you can make this energy work for you better by creating a strategy that works best in accordance with your deepest desires, wants, passions, and drives. Okay then, Cosmic Warriors, so that concludes my video on the Mars retrograde placement within the Natal Birth Chart. Now, if you happen to be one of those individuals who has Mars retrograde within your birth chart, then definitely let us know what you thought of the video in the comment section down below. But with all that being said, thank you so much for watching, thank you for subscribing, and of course, if you would like to see more videos from myself and you have not yet subscribed, then make sure that you click that subscribe button and give this video a like, remember, if you liked it. And I will be back with another video very, very soon. Bye!